Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I haven't even noticed I haven't even changed the image, so let's just do that right now, and there we go. Night Artorias. If it sounds like I'm gonna be dragging this out, actually, I'll tell you what. Let's change the background as well. I apologize, guys, but trust me, there's not gonna be too much to add. So let's get straight to it, shall we? Now we return to Blue Sky, and unfortunately, you remember a few days ago how I described Chris's ramblings on Blue Sky, and I described Chris as being a little bit lost at sea. Well, unfortunately, no, well, fortunately, Chris has sort of come back to dry land a little bit. Unfortunately, Chris is sort of coming back, and there's something bouncing in the back of my head that when I first saw this, I sort of knew what I felt about what this all meant. But let's get to it, shall we? Kind of a random thought, but I have realized something else about myself. I'm some off key when it comes to singing. I don't get why this voice appeals to you all, other than the likely cringe from it. But I really do not care in any effort. I like to sing. Please appreciate the effort. So, yeah. Now that sounds a bit out there, I suppose, but can I let me break it down to you like this. I promise I'll try and keep this short. Um, I don't know where Chris gets off on the idea that thinking Chris's her voice appeals to us. It's not really that. It's your actions, Chris. That's the sort of it fascinates people, your actions, Chris. And it could have come from the mouth of anybody, but the point is that it just so happens to come from you. And well, let's also be fair, Chris. You've done quite a bit of singing back in your day and stuff like that, and you kind of go out of your way to make your voice heard and your feelings known. So yeah, the more stuff you put out there, Chris, the more and more people are gonna come and talk about you. So it's a catch-22, Chris. You can't have it both ways. Second, Chris Chris says that she really doesn't care, but she went out of her way to let people know that she doesn't care. That's that's also a catch-22 because Chris, if you didn't care at all, then why are you telling us you don't care? Surely if you didn't care, you wouldn't have you wouldn't have gone out of your way to say this in the first place. I know that sounds like we're clutching at straws here, but then we get to I like to sing. Please appreciate the effort. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when Chris says effort, I'm half thinking to myself, where? Where's the effort, Chris? Where what am I meant to be looking for? Is it in the comics? Is that what we're talking about? Is it the live streams that you've not been doing for I know Chris has been busy doing some sort of quick light Transformers sales videos and stuff like that. Um and I know Chris is sort of like silently be asking for money again to pay off mortgage, but why not put your effort into, I don't know, finding listen, again, I already know Chris has not applied for work in 16 years, and I, what makes you think Chris is going to start now, or what hope do you think Chris is going to have? I'd say Chris has lesser likely success in finding a job than Boogie does, and that's saying something. That is. Meanwhile, it yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing I'm wondering about. This is that Chris seems a little bit delusional in terms of like why Chris thinks her voice. It's not that at all, Chris. I mean, have you watched Chris? Chris, I know you don't really listen or watch any like Christorians out there, but have you ever sat down and asked yourself why they're so fascinated with talking about you? That's the thing I want to find out. What to what end does Chris think that people are fascinated about listening to her? That's what I feel like Chris needs to sit down and listen. I know she won't like it, but you know what? It will give some form of explanation. And as I said before, if Chris really didn't care, what was the point in letting us know? Because surely Chris must have worked on her mind a little bit, and it goes a little bit beyond singing. But there you are. And as I said before, appreciating the effort. Well, unfortunately, Chris, it's not good enough. I'm not expecting her to go on, America's Got Talent or the X Factor or anything like that. But what we are saying, Chris, is that um, if this is your interpretation of effort, well, I'm not entirely sure what else to say, because this is just I think this is just trying to feed into her ego once again. You know what? I'm good enough as it is, and that's the end of the story. And you can tell how paranoid Chris keeps getting, because she disabled replies anyway, and well, I don't. But what Chris can't do is disable the retweet feature, and others can probably let Chris know what they think when they do it on their timelines. Just saying, Chris, you're not exactly above criticism with your track record, and you probably won't be for years to come, depending if you do anything else in the next couple of months or years. Who knows? You've proven me wrong time and time again, Chris. This is probably it's not going to change anytime soon. Okay, so there we are. That's all I want to say. Chris trying to stroke her own ego again, and she seems once again very delusional about why people are still wanting to listen to her. Yeah. Anyway, with that being said, I'll see all of you guys again next time. Thank you.